Perfection.
Jay Barker led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1992. Winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and a finalist in New York for the Heisman Trophy. Voted the SEC Player of the Year. Drafted by the Green Bay Packers, seeing time with the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. The winningest quarterback in Alabama history with the record of 35-2-1. Member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Jay Barker brings that same championship quality and football expertise to his own radio network and show. Joining him is University of Alabama professor Lars Anderson, who is also a New York Times best-selling author and a 20-year veteran of Sports Illustrated. Live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham, The Jay Barker Show.
All right, welcome in. It is the Monday edition of this Thanksgiving week, and we'll be here Monday and also tomorrow. We'll be off Wednesday, Thursday for Thanksgiving, back on Friday, getting ready for the Iron Bowl. Also, UAB's matchup, 1 o'clock down at Protective Stadium as well. But we'll dive into all of that coming up here in just a little bit. But let's go back through the weekend as we await Coach Saban. He'll be at his weekly press conference. So look forward to that as well. So we'll get right to him once he gets to the podium, and we'll wait on that from our producers. We are presented by Top Golf of Birmingham. Get out to Top Golf, and it'll be a great place to tailgate coming up this Friday. A great place to go out for the Thanksgiving holidays as well. And I know they'll be off on Thanksgiving, but through those other days and some of the holiday time, maybe get out and check it out for yourself. Top Golf of Birmingham, driven by Sonny King Ford on the sunny side of the street. Go see Tony Russell and all the great folks at Sonny King Ford. All right, 42-35, a little bit closer, I think, than most people thought this game would be. Arkansas now at 7-4, 3-4. And SEC play, Alabama is at 10-1, 6-1. And SEC play, and Bryce Young passed for more yards than any quarterback ever has in a game at Alabama. Was his final number 559? I think that was the final number as far as yardage and what he was able to get. And amazing as far as his performance, and continues to wow us all. 31 of 40, 559 and 5 touchdowns. And I think he had like 4 or 5 drops in the game. So
the first one of the game for sure.
Yeah. So he could have easily been 45 of 35 of 40 for 559.
And what's amazing, Jay, is now he has dropped to second place in Vegas books in terms of Heisman Trophy frontrunner. And the frontrunner is now C.J. Stroud, the quarterback of Ohio State, who had a huge game against Michigan State in what, in effect, was a playoff game for both Michigan State and Ohio State. And that game was over, Matt, in about 8 minutes in the first quarter. Ohio State just absolutely destroyed them. And if I was ranking the teams in the country right now, it'd be Georgia 1, Ohio State 2. Ohio State just looks terrific.
I want to see them play. I want that offense to go against Georgia's defense. That's why I would rank them 1 and 4 if I had votes, to make sure that happened, and then hope Alabama can win in between and then have them in the national championship. Now, that's a homer's view, okay? But don't you guys agree that Georgia defense versus the Buckeyes and C.J. Stroud would be something fun to see?
It would be. And I think, too, Alabama matches up very well against Ohio State. The type of athletes, I think Georgia is going to be the anomaly here this year. I think they're the ones that are maybe a little more for the physicality. I think that's the teams Alabama struggles with. I think Ohio State would struggle with that a little bit more, too, as far as the way that they're built from an offensive and defensive standpoint. I agree with you, Lars. Ohio State looked powerful. They looked good this weekend, especially offensively. Didn't expect them to beat Michigan State the way that they did. But they're on fire right now. C.J. Stroud is doing great, lighting it up for 6. Okay, we got Coach on the podium. Let's go right to him right now. Here's Coach Saban in his weekly presser.
Really controlled the tempo of the game on offense, but there's always a little but, I guess. We made some critical mistakes in the game, whether it was on special teams, offense, defense, that never allowed us to really, put the game away. So those are things that we obviously need to correct, as I said, after the game, and things that we'll certainly address with our players. And I'm sure our players, want to make sure they get it right, and they're going to work hard to do it. Great to have a couple of our guys. Henry being the Walter Camp National Player of the Week, and Bryce, SEC Offensive Player of the Week. It's always great to see our players get, positive recognition for the types of games that they play, and both those guys were outstanding in the game. As you well know, the Iron Bowl is one of the best rivalries in the country. There's a lot of people in this state and all over the nation that have great interest in this game. A lot of people have a lot of passion for their schools, which is what makes this rivalry what it is. And, it's always a difficult place to play on the road when you go down to Jordan-Hare Stadium. So this is something that our players are going to have to really have a lot of respect for and do a great job of preparing. Auburn really has a good team. They've had some close losses. They've had some tough injuries. But I think TJ Finley is a very good, capable quarterback who can make plays. He's big. He's got a strong arm. He's accurate with the ball. He's been in an offense all year long. He's got some experience. The running back, Tank Bigsby, is, as good as anybody in our league relative to his production, performance. He can make you miss. Runs behind his pads. Bryan Harsin has done a really good job, I think, with this team. They present a lot of multiples on offense that are difficult to defend. They have a very good core of wide receivers, a lot of guys that have a lot of catches. They've got good tight ends. Their defense has played extremely well all year long. They're physical. They're very aggressive in the way they play. They create a lot of negative plays for the offense. And these guys are always good on special teams. I know they lost a great kicker, but their punter is really, really good. They got good returners. They play well on teams. So all the way around, this is a really, really good team. And I think, our players it's all about the players, when you play in this game. If you don't have success in this game, I don't care what else you accomplish in the season, there's always a but. And what comes after but usually isn't good. You've heard me say that before. So it's a big game for us to be able to continue to try to build some momentum, into the rest of the season.
Okay, with that, we'll start with Michael Casagrande.
Yeah, what is it about Jordan-Hare Stadium that makes it so difficult to play? And you guys have had some tough games. I think 3 of the last 4 times down there.
Yeah, well, it's they've got great passion and enthusiasm, and it's like any place you play on the road. If you don't play well, you don't execute. We've kind of been our own worst enemy. When I think about the games that we've had, down there, whether we turn the ball over, pick sixes on the 1 yard line, kick six. I mean, there's been a lot of things that we've contributed to that has made it difficult. So I think the big thing is being positive about how you're going to execute and stay focused and not be distracted by all the external factors or the noise surrounding the game. But when the game starts, be able to, get in there and play one play at a time and do your job well. And that's the challenge, and that's what we've got to be able to do.
Go to Nick Kelly.
Yeah, the first time that you coached in the Iron Bowl, I mean, what maybe stood out to you or surprised you a little bit, finally, being part of that rivalry?
So you're asking me to remember what happened 15 years ago?
Yeah, I'm just curious, first
I'm
impression.
having a hard time remembering what happened yesterday. No, I've always had tremendous amount of respect for this game, even before I ever coached here. And, the first game we played here, you actually feel it. You always respect it. But when you play in it, you actually feel it. You know what it means to a lot of people. And it's one of the great rivalries in the country. And it's great competitive opportunity for all the players on both sides to have, a game like this to be able to, play in, compete in, have as a memory legacy wise. So, everybody's got to understand that and be focused on what they need to do to play well.
Go to Aaron Suttles.
Do you have a favorite Iron Bowl game or memory from one of these games?
I guess my memories from last year's game when I was sitting at home watching on TV probably would be the most different memory of any. But look, there's been some crazy things happen. The end of the game, the last time we played down there, we had a chance to get the ball back. They had the quarterback in the game. I already mentioned the, kick six. I mean, we had one year we had like 5 chances to score inside the red zone, in the fourth quarter and never scored a point. And they came back and tied the game and we got beat. So, then we've had some really, really good, games that we've played as well. You seem to remember the ones that didn't go so well the most because they hurt the most. But, what we're focused on is not what's happened in the past, but, what we need to do to play well in this game this week.
Go to John Zener.
Yes, Coach. I know there's always going to be people who expect y'all to win every game by a few touchdowns. But is there some benefit going to these big games to be so battle tested? You guys have had to come up with some plays late in games already.
Well, hey, you always have to respect the competitive character of the players whether they have to make stops at the end of the game, or we have to move the ball at the end of the game, whether it's to take the air out of it or score. So these experiences are always beneficial, I think, and certainly we've had our share of them this year. But I think the focus is, to keep players playing one play at a time and not look at the scoreboard. And maybe that helps you execute, down the stretch a little better.
Go to Charlie Potter.
Yeah, hey, Coach. Just how big have John Mechie and Jamison Williams been for you guys these last few weeks? And how have you seen the other guys at wide receiver kind of come along?
Yeah, I think those two guys have had, really outstanding years. They both played very well. They both had really good production. And I think that, Slade has played really well for us. I think, Ja'Cory Brooks has, made a lot of improvement as a freshman, played a little bit more in the last game. Javon Baker, Trayshawn Holden, those guys have, when they've got an opportunity, they've done a pretty good job as well. So we want to continue to develop and have more players that can play with the kind of consistency we need. I'm not disappointed in the group at all as to how they've progressed. But we've had two guys that you mentioned have had fantastic years and great production.
Go to Joseph Goodman.
Hey, Coach, how was your perspective of this game different after last year? Or maybe how was your perspective of college football in general after last year, this week last year?
I don't know that my perspective on the game is any different. The circumstances surrounding the game relative to what we all went through a year ago as a society as well as in sports, made it a little different then, but it's, we're pretty much back to normal. It's great to have fans. It's great to have the kind of energy and enthusiasm we've had in our home games. And I'm sure that wherever we've played and wherever we play in the future, they're going to have the same kind of passion and energy. So it's more getting back to normal than it is having a different perspective. I think last year was the different perspective.
We'll go to Tony Schollis.
You had mentioned earlier that Josh Jobe was dealing with a turf toe. Was that something that was bothering him last week, and he just didn't look himself all the time?
I don't know. Josh practiced well, all week, and just had a couple tough plays in the game. And I think sometimes, when players get a little frustrated, that sometimes you're protecting them by not putting them in there when they're, not feeling confident in themselves. But we'll talk today and see what we can do to help him sort of play the way he's capable of playing, because that's the number one goal we all have here.
Go to Stephen Smith.
Coach, you mentioned Damian George stepping up some at right tackle in the team.
bringing him along, and the depth on the offensive line? Could we see some more changes or some more evaluation from that group?
No, I think that the guys that we have playing right now have the most experience, and they've gotten progressively better as the year has gone on. And Chris Owens has done a good job when he played right tackle. He did a good job when he had to play center, really on short notice in the LSU game. Getting Darian back last week was, probably a good thing. Gave Damian George an opportunity to play some right tackle, and he's done a pretty good job of that. But I can't see making other changes in the offensive line helping us improve our chances of being successful. Hopefully we can keep these guys healthy and keep them playing well.
Okay, we got time for two more. We'll start with Ryan Hennessy.
Coach, your quarterback Bryce Young with the big game numbers-wise on Saturday. Do you believe in clicking at the right time, and how important is it for him to be playing his best football, getting awards and stuff like that during this time leading into the end of the season?
Well, I think, for all players, I think playing well down the stretch, games at the end of the year probably are more meaningful in some regards, more meaningful to the team to play your best at this time of the season. And it's more meaningful to individual players, I think. And Bryce has played well for us all year long. I know he had a great game statistically and played really well in the last game, but he's played very well in, most of the games this year. And, he'll be the first guy to, say that there's things that he could have done better on the few plays that he might have had an opportunity to do something different. But that's the right kind of mindset to have to be able to continue to improve and make progress, which he's always done a good job of.
Coach, that's actually all we've got. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Coach Saban's weekly presser, and we'll come back and react to it as well with some of the things he had to say, and looking ahead to the Iron Bowl coming up for this 2021 matchup. Stay with us. We're live from AVX here on this Monday edition, Thanksgiving week. We'll be back.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
Your home for Alabama Crimson Tide football. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Church's is adding Applewood smoked Texas cut bacon to our all-white meat chicken sandwich. Yep, these two are best flavors forever. Try our new Texas cut bacon chicken sandwiches today. Church's, bringing that down home flavor. Offer valid at participating locations.
Step up your creativity now during Dell's Black Friday event with savings up to $400 off, including deals on the latest PCs with Intel Core processors, shop laptops, monitors, and more, plus free shipping. Call 800-BY-DELL. That's 800-BY-DELL.
Hello, I'm Randy Smalley, owner of Randy Smalley Floor and Tile in Northport. With the holidays upon us, family and friends finally getting back together, now is the time to redo and upgrade the flooring in your home. We have hardwood in many styles and colors, tiles from Italy and Spain, and carpet to keep those little elves' toes warm on those cold days. With free estimates and being local, all you need on this year's wish list is a call to us at 205-758-4040 and let Randy Smalley Floor and Tile make this season the most special, shiny, and brightest ever.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too, because TracFone runs on America's best networks now with 5G nationwide. Plus, we've got unlimited talk and text smartphone plans starting at just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-324-4522. 800-324-4522. Don't wait. Call now. 800-324-4522. 800-324-4522.
You know what happens in a plasma chamber?
Big stuff. Science stuff.
Diamonds. I'm Tom Osmond. Fincher & Osmond Jewelers carries artisan-created diamonds.
Earth and human safe.
And bigger. Lots bigger.
Fincher & Osmond diamonds from the mines or artisan-created diamonds.
They're all diamonds.
If you want to give her the big stuff, you've got to see these diamonds.
FincherandOsmond.com, a little tricky to find on McFarland Boulevard between Edgar's and Local Roots.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get access. Well, not anymore, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month and no contract. Plus, get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A cool, breezy day with a sunny sky. Tuscaloosa's high 56. A freeze likely late tonight. Clear with a low at 30. Tomorrow and Wednesday, sunny both days with a warming trend. The high tomorrow at 59. The high Wednesday at 61. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 61 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
All right, we got Don Corleone is actually in our comments section today. That's great. Appreciate that. Go Alabama. So not even sure if he's an Alabama fan. Saying that. Roll Tide of Bama, right? But Don Corleone, thank you.
Yeah, they're about to find Hoffa. Okay, next topic.
Hey, the AP top 25 out. So is the coaches poll. Georgia's sitting at number 1, Ohio State at 2, and Alabama's at 3. You swap Alabama, Ohio State in the coaches poll. Then it's Cincinnati at 4. Notre Dame at 5, Michigan at 6, and Oklahoma State 7. Ole Miss sitting there at number 8. And it's Baylor and Oklahoma at 9 and 10. Switch them up on the coaches poll at 9 and 10. But no surprise, Ohio State looked really, really good this past weekend. But there they are, Notre Dame sitting right outside the top 4. And when it comes to the coaches and the AP top 25, can Cincinnati stay inside the top 4? Lars, start with you.
Absolutely, because Cincinnati beat Notre Dame on their home field. What Notre Dame needs to get into the top 4 is for Georgia to beat Alabama in the SEC championship game, assuming that Alabama beats Auburn in the Iron Bowl. But yeah, I mean, I think Notre Dame's got to feel pretty good about where they are right now, Matt.
11-point win, wasn't it? 24-13.
Yep. Well, you know, they're there now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get them out. You know, what needs to happen to the other 3 in order to I think now that they're there.
Cincinnati, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the committee made a very strong statement by putting Cincinnati as low as they did in the initial rankings, but teams have just gotten picked off one at a time. But Jay, I want to sort of start our discussion with the fact that it was senior day at Alabama, and you were there with Braxton. Just tell us about how it was and how special it was.
That was great. We went on the field and watched warm-ups, and I've done that many times, but it's different when it's your son or your son's getting honored, and you watch the guys that he came in with, and some of the guys who are leaving out early, and I think there were 15 total seniors on senior day. But Coach Saban, and I was telling Matt, I mean, he goes quick. I mean, it's just like, here's the ball, take a
Well,
picture.
he's in game mode,
He
you
is.
know.
But one of the parents looked at me and go, "We didn't even have a conversation." I'm like, "You're not gonna have a conversation with Coach Saban."
You got Arkansas
Pre-game.
in 15 minutes.
I mean,
you know?
that's all he's thinking about, his mind. But he did smile. He did say hello. He did say congratulations, all that type of stuff. So, but that, I just don't ever expect anything in those moments, especially like you said, Matt, heading into the game. But it was great. But going out on the field, we had a chance to be there with him, for him. Got the picture. He got the football. Other things that'll come also in graduation. But I do think, and I'm not. Somebody asked this, maybe Matt or you last week or somebody else. Said, did it make it sweeter for senior day based on the fact that he played last week and got some playing time? And somewhat it does, just knowing that that happened, and knowing in that moment he got a shot to go out there and play. But I think if you would have talked to Braxton, which is what I'm so really probably proud of him the most, is that he wanted to be an Alabama guy. He wanted to wear the crimson jersey. He wanted to practice. He wanted to be a part of Coach Saban's dynasty and what they've been able to accomplish. So I'm prouder of that with him and what he's been able to accomplish than anything else. But beautiful day, great day. Fans were awesome, and the fans were great during the game as well. They were loud, they were into it, and just a lot of fun on that day.
I noticed even in the second half, they were so loud that it threw Arkansas off, and they got a 5-yard penalty. With all due respect, I know we got a lot of Alabama fans listening to this. That's really not the norm. Of course, it's not the norm for you to be close to the Hogs when you're a 21-point favorite. They knew it. They recognized it. Saban reinforced it last week in his news conference, and they came through because I think I counted 3 times maybe Arkansas's offense either jumped or they had a procedure call. And I, in my little notebook in my head, I credited the fans for all of them.
Coach Saban throughout all of last week kept saying, this is a good team. This is a good team. This is a good team. And it was almost like he was issuing a warning, not just to his players, but to the fans to sort of get them ready for the fact that this is going to be tighter than a lot of you guys think. But Jay, obviously you were there. What are just 2-3 takeaways from what you saw on Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that you knew that Arkansas was going to be physical, and you got that from them. KJ Jefferson is a great player. I mean, he really is. He can make plays. The Burke kid, oh my gosh! I mean, you're talking about a guy that's going to be one of the top receivers in the country. He's very tough to guard. Puts his body on you. Can run great routes. Just really does a good job at that position. And and just the physicality that they played with. Up front, especially on their offense side of the football. I thought our offense played really well against them. The 42 points, I wouldn't have thought we would have surrendered that many to Arkansas, but hand it to them. I mean, they came in. Sam Pittman, I think, worked on them all week psychologically. I think also came in with a great game plan. And I could listen to his press conferences all day long. I think he is just a class act. And, the way that he's able to praise the other team, the way he says things, and it's not so much even coach speech, but it kind of is. But it seems more personal. It seems more like he really does think this about the opposite team, about what they've played or who they played, and really his respect for teams that are getting it done like Alabama and Coach Saban. So that's kind of my takeaways from the game, Lars. But Matt, yours?
Mine, first of all, is Bryce Young. As much as we expected of him this year, has overachieved. And one play in particular, Jay, and I know you can relate to this, is that he's in the pocket. He sits in the pocket. Arkansas, I think that time may have rushed more than 3, but they didn't often. He stepped up in the pocket. He gave time for his receivers to get open. They didn't. By the way, Arkansas secondary played very well in spots. So he just runs up to the line of scrimmage and tosses it laterally to Leary. Touchdown.
Great play.
My first takeaway was just how good this guy is. Parenthetically, 1A is how does Stroud overtake that guy when he throws for a record? The other thing is, what is Alabama doing at run back? Is it just B-Rob, and it's going to be B-Rob, and it's going to be B-Rob?
Trey Sanders with 1 carry.
1 carry. He did have a catch. I thought that was going to light the fuse, and he was going to get a lot more touches, but he did not. And the other thing is, Alabama continues to have problems staying in their lanes and staying in their zone and man coverage in the secondary. And KJ took advantage of it. And on that note, Alabama tends to take quarterbacks and make them look real good. Have you noticed that? Emory Jones, Jefferson. I could go back and name a couple of others, but while Alabama won and they're going to the Iron Bowl, ranked 2 or 3 in the nation, there's still obvious problems to me.
Yeah, and I mean, there's still problems. There's issues on the right side of the offensive line. We've talked about that, Jay, for basically the entire season. And again, Brian Robinson, yes, he finished with 122 yards, and it's his first 100-yard game in the last 3. Averaged 4.5 yards per carry, but his long run was only 15. So there is not it's not an explosive running game. And look, we all love the Brian Robinson story, the fact that he has persevered and he's a local kid and he's finally getting his chance and he's making the most of it. But he's not Najee Harris. He's not Derrick Henry. And so I don't know if you could classify him as a sort of difference maker at the running back position. He's very, very good, but he's just not in that same category as these other guys who have been first-round draft picks. You find that with the problems on the right side of the offensive line. And let's just assume, and then this is a big assumption, that Alabama beats Auburn in the Iron Bowl. If Alabama, Jay, is one-dimensional against Georgia, can't run the ball, I mean, what does that mean in that game?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It'll be tough because they can match up on the outside with you and receivers with their DBs. They're built the same way as Alabama is. So that's that'd be the hard part for even for Bryce Young. Even though I do think he is so talented, I agree with you, Matt. I mean, one of the most talented guys I've seen play the position. His calmness, his poise in the pocket, that throw. Was unbelievable that he got to the line of scrimmage, just flipped it right to him and able to get the touchdown. But we'll get it to on the other side. We'll talk more about that and kind of what Alabama's got the next couple of weeks, what Georgia had this past weekend, Charleston Southern, then they got Georgia Tech. Then they played the SEC championship game. Alabama's at Arkansas and Auburn. Then they played the championship game. So a lot tougher road for Alabama, but does that help them somewhat getting prepared and ready to play that physicality or that type of physical game that you're going to get in the SEC championship game? Or does it hurt them, as far as the rest that Georgia's getting for a lot of the players over these next couple of weeks? We'll talk about that and more coming up on the other side. Stay with us.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for AVX, Audio Video Excellence. They are the premier provider for custom audio-visual design and installation in the Southeast. AVX seeks excellence in everything it does, including a superior employee experience. AVX offers employees an industry-leading salary, insurance benefits, and 401k options. AVX technicians also receive the highest level of certification and continue training, making it one of the most awarded and decorated companies in the industry. Career opportunities are available now for technicians in Birmingham and Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Join the AVX team by contacting them at avxinc.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. If you're average and you're looking for a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store, where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average person with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We all exercise differently. We run differently. We walk differently. And our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Birmingham store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot's size and shape, along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Because New Balance isn't your average shoe, and you're not average either. Experience the difference an unaverage custom fit makes today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham. Your feet will thank you.
Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Hi, it's Jay Barker for Siebel's in downtown Homewood, and now's the time to get your special place ready. Come in and let Siebel's design your porch with Kingsley Bait outdoor furniture and one of their custom swinging beds. For the great room, you're going to need their Carson swivel recliner. Siebel's is the #1 Carson recliner dealer in the country, and Sarah and I, we've got one, and we absolutely love it. Be sure also to check out their famous custom-made beds and bunk beds, built by Siebel's and made up with some of their best linens in town. Their staff can truly put your bed together like no other store. You can also follow Siebel's and shop on Instagram and Facebook. And be sure to call or go by their special store in downtown Homewood. The number is 800-448-1962. That's 800-448-1962. And just for listening, go to SiebelsCottage.com and order anything you want and type in Jay Barker for a special discount code. That's Jay Barker for a special discount code available only to our listeners for a limited time on the Jay Barker Show. Siebel's in downtown Homewood or online at SiebelsCottage.com.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.co.
Jefferson muffs the snap, and it's picked up and fallen on. Alabama says they've got it, and they do. Kick on the way. End over end kick. It is good from 48 yards away. Bryce looks, throws the out route into the end zone. Mechie, he's got a touchdown, Alabama. The 34th touchdown pass of the year. He'll clap his hands, backpedals, has time here, steps up, looks long. Jameson's got the man beat. He makes the grab at the 30. He's to the 20. He's to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! 79 yards. Bryce claps his hands. Loads up, throws across the middle. Williams, he makes the grab. He'll angle to the far side, 10. Turn it up the field, 5. And he'll roll further in for a touchdown. 32 yards. Bryce Young, Jameson Williams, touchdown, Alabama. Bryce rolls right, throws, it's caught across the middle. The race is on, down towards the goal line, and it's Sanders who's taken down at the 5. Snap, spot, kick, counted. Jefferson looks towards Sanders. Jefferson is looking at the grass. And Will Anderson, another for the Tide here today. Neal picks up the blitz, long throw. Jameson Williams, touchdown Alabama! Jameson Williams, touchdown, 40 yards. Another 40-yard toss for Bryce Young. Here's the snap. Looking. Quarterback steps up. He's going to run it in. 2-point conversion. 2-point conversion for Bryce Young. Quarterback's in trouble. Quarterback is going down. It'll be Will Anderson. Now on a 1st and 10 from midfield. Quarterback under pressure. Quarterback spins away. Henry To'o takes him down. Another sack. The 4th of the ball game for Alabama. There's the snap. There's the knee. That's the ball game. It was quite a game. Both teams played their hearts out.
All right, welcome back in as we continue hour number 1 here on this Monday edition, Thanksgiving week. And we had Coach Saban's press conference earlier. We carried that for you live. We got Mick Gillespie going to be joining us coming up at 1 o'clock. So 20 minutes away from that, we'll get his take on the Tide from this past weekend. I had a show last night and with a lot of you fans watching us right now on BamaInsider.com. Don't forget to subscribe like and share there. And we love seeing your comments as well throughout the show. We'll try to read some of those that you've got up getting ready for Iron Bowl week, as we heard Coach Saban talking about it earlier. Lars, you were talking about as far as Brian Robinson and just not sure where he fits. I was actually trying to go back and find some comparable stats. Didn't have enough time there in the break to get that done between Najee and Brian Robinson. But I will say this. I've always thought Brian was a guy that if you give him the ball over and over again in a game, he gets stronger as the game goes on. I heard that not only from a number of guys at Alabama that watched him play when he played high school ball in Tuscaloosa, as to when he also got to practice and the things that he was doing early on in his career. For him to come back to be a part of this team again in 2021 after winning a championship last year, and to watch his footwork and what he's done, and as far as I think he's faster this year, he's quicker in the hole. I think he's reading things a lot better. Yes, they had the one game, 6 yards rushing, but outside of that, has had to, in my mind, had a pretty productive year so far. And I think a lot of that too, if offensive linemen in the trenches, we talk about all the time, your linebackers, your running backs, your DBs, your quarterbacks, wide receivers are only as good or great as you are up front. And if you've got a good offensive line, you're going to be a good running back. If you got a great offensive line, you're going to be a great running back, especially if you've got that talent. He's got it. I really do. I think he's got the size. He can catch the ball in the backfield. I think he's going to be a guy that maybe surprise people at where he ends up in the NFL draft once he gets to those workouts and in the combine.
No, you're right. Running back is only as good as its offensive line, as their offensive line. So, yeah, I don't mean to be overly critical. I'm just calling it as I see it. I mean, but the thing is, like Najee Harris, Derrick Henry, Eddie Lacy, the list goes on. Trent Richardson, our colleague here, those were special backs. Like you would think, like each one of them would be almost a generational back at Alabama, and so it's tough to compare Robinson to these other guys because it's really not fair to Robinson. But guys, I just want to shift topics really quick. And to me, at the start of the season, if you would have told me that Dan Mullen would be fired, I would have said that would be the absolute biggest surprise in the SEC. And here we are with one game left in the regular season. Dan Mullen gets canned. Got canned on Sunday morning by Scott Strickland, the Florida athletic director, who, oh, by the way, hired Dan Mullen. And look, the players at Florida have just essentially quit on Dan Mullen. You saw that last week against Samford. Samford had him on the ropes, just absolutely dominating in that first half. And then Florida goes on the road, plays Missouri on Saturday evening, and lose in overtime 24-23. And that's the fourth consecutive loss that Florida's had to a Power 5 opponent. And then you go back to the final three games of 2020. Gators are now 2-9 against their last Power 5 opponents. And yes, Dan Mullen is great at developing quarterbacks. You saw what he did with Kyle Trask last year, but it just hasn't happened for him. His record, though, it's 34-15. He's a year removed from leading Florida to the SEC championship game. If the game against Alabama earlier this season goes another 10 minutes, the Gators probably win that game. If the Gators beat Alabama, Mullen is definitely not getting fired. But it just seems that there's some sort of disconnect between Strickland and Mullen. And Mullen made some crazy statements last year, Jay, that we discussed at length. And I've always liked Dan very much. I've gotten to know him in a personal setting, played several rounds of golf with him. Think he's a really nice guy. Did a wonderful job at Mississippi State. Had Mississippi State ranked number 1 in the country. Who in the heck ever would have thought Mississippi State would be ranked number 1 in the country? But Matt, I'll start with you and your reaction to Dan Mullen being fired, and who's next? Is it Billy Napier? Is it Lane Kiffin? Is it you're hearing Bob Stoops, you're hearing Mario Cristobal, just all sorts of names from all around the country.
Well, losing to Missouri doesn't help your cause. Celebrating like you just beaten an SEC opponent when you beat Samford does not help your cause. But the real breakdown, in my humble opinion, is that he seems to have stopped being the quarterback whisperer, and I think that's because he didn't get a quarterback. I mean, if Emory Jones played like he did against Alabama, we wouldn't have this discussion at all. But I also think that he had a little bit of an ego where he thought, well, I can take a 3 or 4 recruit and beat your 5s. Well, I'm sorry, you can be the greatest coach in the world, and that's not going to happen very often. And so I think he didn't have the players to compete, and then that really started showing down the stretch as the team just got worse, more injured, more banged up, and really the biggest deal you just mentioned, they didn't care. And I think there was this one point that Dan Mullen decided, I'm not sure I care anymore. I'm going to be an OC in the NFL next year, and I won't have to recruit.
And he played not to lose that game. They had every chance at the end of regulation to go down the field, and Mullen just basically said, no, we're just going to go and try to win this in overtime.
What is he, 2-8? I think it was now against Power 5 teams.
2-9.
Maybe 9.
2-9. 2-9 the last 11 games, and then the multi-year contract. I mean, didn't he just sign the contract? Not
last
6
months.
Yeah.
What were the numbers on the contract, Lars?
It was
it was a 3-year contract extension.
But was it 7 or 8 a year? Something like that?
Yeah.
Had to be.
But I mean, it's weird that they're not weird, but there is a trend going on right now with Power 5 programs firing their coaches before the season's over. USC, LSU, Washington, Virginia Tech, TCU, they're all doing that. But it's Florida's gonna have to pay Mullen $13.8 million in a buyout. My guess is that Mullen's gonna take the year off, probably work at the SEC network. Or hey, maybe he'll be an analyst at Alabama. Maybe he'll replace.
He's going to host the Jay Barker Show.
He's actually very personable. He doesn't come off that way sometimes in his press conferences, but
7.6
he started kind of losing it at the end of the Missouri game.
7.6 million.
7.6 million.
Remember last year at the end of the Missouri game, he's kind of lost his brain. Wasn't that it? He started.
He started talking crazy.
Yeah, I almost go back to that as what happened to Mullen moment.
And remember when they went on the road? Wasn't it going on the road, Texas A&M, at the start of last year, and complaining that there was a huge crowd there, and that was sort of against the rules because of COVID?
Yeah, crazy. All right, 7.6 million. Yeah, that this year up from 6.07 million last year, and he now, whatever way, ranked 3rd in the powerhouse Southeastern Conference and average salary behind Alabama's Nick Saban and Ed Orgeron. Both guys out. Besides Coach Saban's still sticking around. Something that Coach Steve Spurrier had something to do with Dan Mullen.
I saw that post a minute ago.
Yeah, so let's get into that and much more coming up on the other side. Local Realty, one of our great sponsors. Check them out. Go to localrealtyflatfee.com. Localrealtyflatfee.com. It's a flat fee, $2,900 flat fee, up to a $500,000 listing. You're going to love this company. Jeremy and Gina Miller do a terrific job. They've sold a ton of homes throughout our Metro Birmingham area. They continue to expand their company north, South Alabama, and get better and better at what they do each and every day. But they're just saving people money, really making you money. It's your equity. You deserve to get it out of the sale of your home. 5-star on Zillow. Check them out. LocalRealtyFlatFee.com. LocalRealtyFlatFee.com for local realty.
A program note at 1:30, we are going to effort, and by we, I mean Josh Smith, our producer, to bring in Bryan Harsin in his news conference from Auburn, because after all, it is Alabama-Auburn week.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
You're listening to Tide 100.9. Are you in the holiday spirit? Check out Tuscaloosa's Home for the Holidays on Nick 97.5. All Christmas songs 24/7.
Has the pandemic affected your business? Even with more and more customers going online in the past 5 years, online business has grown greatly due to the pandemic. Now more than ever, it's important to have a strong online presence so that customers can find your business and products easily. That's where Townsquare comes in to help. Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free competitive analysis to see how your business stands up to the competition. And if you're one of the first to sign up, you'll get $500 in free advertising on this radio station. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
In a collision decision, easy decision. One name, one firm, one call. Mesrano.
I made that one call to Mesrano after being hit by an 18-wheeler. He got me $875,000.
I made that one call to Mesrano after being T-boned on McFarland. He got me $125,000.
I made that one call to Mesrano after my fender bender. He got me $50,000.
One call, one firm. Mesrano.
No representation made that quality of legal services to be performed is greater than quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 50% off during their Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
You know when you order a new video game, or a golf club, or a blender, and then it arrives at your door, you get a little thrill. Imagine how much more thrilling it is when you order a new car. With Nissan at home, you can shop for the perfect ride and order it without ever having to go anywhere. Sure beats a golf club or a blender. Buy a new car entirely online with Nissan at home. Delivered direct from dealer to driveway. Thrill starts here. Services may vary at participating dealers, subject to applicable. See dealer for details.
Velvety paper feel, exquisite colors, stunning scale. At Staples, we sweat the details and quality of every print project. Stop by Staples and try our Print Big Promise. We're committed to getting your print job right, to treating your small business like a big deal, and guiding you from start to finish. Get 20% off signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Offer ends January 1st. Visit staples.com/services/printing for details. Staples, where small business prints big.
Fall is a great time to get your home improvement projects done with the help of Banks & Company Hardware in Utah. They have a great selection of hardware, lumber, sheetrock, and home repair products for yard work. They carry Husqvarna blowers, weed eaters, and chainsaws. If you're a hunter, Banks & Company Hardware has deer corn, moultrie feeders, deer scents, hunting clothes, jackets, boots, orange vests, and hats. Stop by and see Barton Elliott and his staff today at Banks & Company Hardware. Open Monday through Saturday in downtown Utah.
Don't miss a play at the Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Your front row seat to all the action. Place bets on all professional and most college sports at the counter, kiosk, or on your phone. Then catch the game on one of our 20 big screens from the comfort of the newly remodeled Timeout Lounge. Plus, the PRR Sports app gives you access to live, in-play sports betting. Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Be more than a fan. Be a player. Must be 21.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A cool, breezy day with a sunny sky. Tuscaloosa's high 56. A freeze likely late tonight. Clear with a low at 30. Tomorrow and Wednesday, sunny both days with a warming trend. The high tomorrow at 59. The high Wednesday at 61. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 61 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
All right, welcome back in. As we are wrapping up hour number one, we're talking about Steve Spurrier, what kind of impact he had on the hiring. Knowing we have a lot of time here, kind of a lightning round, and we'll get into that real quick. I was talking to Matt about this. Lars, USC's open, LSU's open, Florida's open, Virginia Tech is open, Washington is open, TCU is open, Washington State is open, Florida International open, Troy now open. After Chip Lindsey was let go, and D. Brown, 2020, said, boy, this is a good time to be looking for a head coaching gig. No doubt about it.
Bryan Harsin going to Washington.
It's also a good time to have
I'm just joking. I have no inside information on that. Actually, I've been reading reports that Harsin is not being considered for that. But I will say year one at Auburn for Harsin, utter disaster. Utter disaster.
Really? Utter disaster.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been any worse. No, I'm just kidding.
They're going to finish 6-6.
I had a one line.
And didn't we all? Jay, come on, jump out. What did we all say? 7-5.
Hey, Gus Malzahn loses to South Carolina. You know what happens? He gets fired.
Aren't you going to?
Year one.
Give your buddy Shane a little credit there. Coach of the year.
He is going to be the SEC Coach of the Year.
By the way, his comments after the game when he kept saying over and over, we were just running two plays. He ran that in the counter, that in the counter, that, and then he was kind of laughing about it, like, "Hey, Brian, hey Derek,
you think Virginia?
Can't you figure this out?
Virginia Tech go after Shane? Go home?
I thought that'd be a good fit, but we'll see. Hey, Fully Promoted, they want to help you when it comes to finding ideas, new ways to brand and market your business. And branding and marketing, well, that's what they do. Fully Promoted offers extensive branding marketing solutions to get your name in front of your potential customers. They have local experts specializing in your logo on apparel, team gear, caps, promotional products, trade show items, and much more. And so give them a call. Check them out yourself. Fully Promoted with the decoration selection methods, taking your brand to the next level. Call them today at 205-406-6430. That's 205-406-6430. Mention that you heard this ad on the Jay Barker Show. Are you fully promoted? All right, we'll be back. Stay tuned. Hour number 2 coming up next. Mick Gillespie joins us.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Achieving your personal best often comes down to how you feel. And when it comes to the right shoes, nothing feels better than New Balance. The fit specialists at the New Balance Birmingham store conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size, shape, and gait, determining the best New Balance shoes for you. Experience the difference of custom fit today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
I'm excited to tell you about our newest sponsor here on the Jay Barker Radio Network. They pioneered the chicken finger box and the chicken finger restaurant. That's Guthrie's. Guthrie's recipes and process are often imitated, but never duplicated. Look, their sauce is probably the most copied sauce of all sauces all time. And I've known this family since my days down in Tuscaloosa, and they came over, and man, I tell you, it's nostalgic even today to see my kids going to that same Guthrie's. And great family, do so much for the community, but more importantly, provide the best when it comes to chicken fingers. Get out to Guthrie's today. I want to tell you about my good friends at Southern Assurance Group. Hi, it's Jay Barker, and look, Ken Needham has done a terrific job. Local company, 205-980-1505 is their number. That's 980-1505. Again, local, you can speak with the same team every time you give them a call. Full line of products from auto, home, boat, life. You'll trust them. They have a great deal as far as the relationships they build with their customers, and 20 years with the same company and industry. Custom approach for your insurance needs. Give them a call, 980-1505. That is Southern Assurance Group. Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything, handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Whether it's for lunch or dinner, head out to the Cajun Steamer. It's a New Orleans style joint that serves authentic Cajun and Creole food, cold beer, and great drinks. They are known for their wide array of Cajun classics and original creations prepared in an authentic fashion. This Louisiana kitchen can have you slapping the table for more. Stop by the Cajun Steamer and sign up for your Alabama, LSU, or Auburn fan card. Eat with the Cajun Steamer while your team is on TV and use your fan card to receive a 15% discount on your entire meal. With locations in Hoover, Trustful, Huntsville, and Franklin, Tennessee, they've got you covered. Head out today to the Cajun Steamer.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit gofan.co now. That's gofan.co.
Birmingham's best Mexican restaurant for over 20 years and counting. That's La Paz Restaurant in Crestline Village and Mount Laurel. They've got a great staff, its delicious menu, award-winning cheese dip, and margaritas and vibrant atmosphere have helped to make La Paz a local favorite. Blue corn nachos, Texas barbecue quesadillas, steak and blue quesadillas, Baja fish tacos, signature fajitas, and much, much more. So head over to La Paz today. If you want a great lunch or a great dinner, you'll find all that at La Paz, Crestline, and Mount Laurel for lunch or dinner.
WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Touchdown. That championship trophy is headed back to Tuscaloosa. Up 15, dominating with this defense. Richardson breaks free on the sideline. End zone. How about that? You saw the Gatorade shower this time. I love it. Clippers wide open. Tide rolling again. Alabama again, the champions of college football. Eludes the kicker and will not be caught. Touchdown, great. Alabama back on top. Guys in the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins. The Crimson Tide will not be denied. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. Saban with his 7th national championship. A national championship number 18. 13 home. Absolute perfection.
Jay Barker led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1992. Winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and a finalist in New York for the Heisman Trophy. Voted the SEC Player of the Year. Drafted by the Green Bay Packers, seeing time with the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. The winningest quarterback in Alabama history with the record of 35-2-1. Member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Jay Barker brings that same championship quality and football expertise to his own radio network and show. Joining him is University of Alabama professor Lars Anderson, who is also a New York Times best-selling author and a 20-year veteran of Sports Illustrated. Live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham, The Jay Barker Show.
All right, welcome back in. And again, hour number 2 as we continue here live from AVX Audio Video Excellence. And we've got also, don't forget, presented by Top Golf of Birmingham. Get out to Top Golf this week. You'll absolutely love it with family and friends. We call it the bowling of this generation. And a great place to go this Friday. Tailgating before and after the UAB game. That game's at 1 o'clock coming up at Protective Stadium. Tomorrow, Mark Ingram is going to be in studio with us around 12:45 or 1. That is the AD, not the running back. And he'll be with us to talk about, I think it's $12. They're doing tickets for this game for the people of Birmingham to come out and support their UAB Blazers. That's going to be a good thing. Also driven by Sunny King Ford on the sunny side of the street. Go by Oxford, Anderson, see Tony Russell, and all the great folks at Sunny King Ford. All right, let's welcome him in. And he has like shaved in about a month. And not sure where that furry creature came from, but Nick Gillespie joining us. Love the mustache, man. Got the New York Yankees hat on. Actually,
it looks like Bobby Valentine.
Is that Detroit?
It's Bobby Valentine.
This is a Tigers hat.
Cartoon game.
Oh, it's a tiger. I can't tell what.
Yeah, I'm trying to find
Bobby Valentine.
Now I can see it.
Yeah, that is not a. Yeah, okay, that is obviously.
I put my sunglasses down somewhere. I was hoping you guys might recognize what character I am.
That's Matt Coulter in the 80s. Yeah.
It's all. No, leave it on. Leave it on. No, leave it on. Like,
see if you can operate with that over your lip. You'll see what kind of hell I went through for 20 years.
Find your sunglasses. I thought you had them on.
I don't know where I put them. Oh, here they are.
Look down below.
Hold on. Here we go. Now do you know who I am?
Wait, who is that? Yeah. Oh, that's Nick Gillespie.
Yeah, no, Magnum PI.
Magnum PI. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
the shirt and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, this is for the people on Bama on the BamaInsider YouTube channel. Everybody else is like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, that's true. We got a lot of radio out there going, what? Hey, Mick has a huge black mustache, really nice shades, and a Detroit Tigers cap, and the shirt, just
Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, the Hawaiian shirt, just like Magnum PI.
I can see myself in your glasses.
Yeah, aviators,
5 miles away. Hey, where's your Ferrari?
Well, it's outside. Higgins and the dogs are out there right now hanging out. And then TC's picking me up on the helicopter to get me to Auburn this week.
Oh, no. All right. So Mick, using I don't know, using your investigative skills, channeling Magnum PI. What did you uncover when you watched the Alabama game and analyzed it?
I think the first thing is that it's not easy for this team like it has been in the past to win a lot of these games, but Nick Saban's created a culture of winning, and these guys just have bought into that. And I don't see the talent on the offensive side of the ball besides Evan Neal, Jamison Williams, Mechie, and obviously Bryce Young, that Alabama's had in the past. This is the weakest running back room that Alabama has had since Nick Saban's been head coach. This is one of the weakest running back rooms that Alabama's had since I've been following the team, if you really want to be honest with you, because of injuries. I talked to a guy that played in the NFL, and he was saying the same thing to me, that was the biggest thing, alignment in the NFL that he noticed with Alabama, is that there's just Brian Robinson's great, doesn't fumble the ball, but there's no explosiveness there. The offensive line can kind of be part of that, but for this team to be 10-1 right now, I think that really says a lot more about coaching than a lot of people want to say. I mean, it's like the coaches get criticized all the time, but this team could easily have lost the game Saturday, the LSU game, and also the Florida game.
Yeah, Mick, I just made that exact same point about the running back room and Robinson, and I kind of got hammered here. But what about on
you
the?
Did not get hammered.
Jay,
did he get hammered?
Well,
I said, but you have to look at the offensive line. I think the offensive line struggles.
You a mustache and a Detroit Tigers hat, so you can
Mick can say all that because he's in.
My mustache won't stay on.
How dare I be critical of Alabama? Oh my goodness.
Well, that's the truth. I mean, look, we want to look, Lars. You're exactly right on that front. I mean, to think that Brian Robinson, who he's a mediocre running back. I mean, let's be honest. He reminds me of Blake Sims when he was quarterback at Alabama. That team won the SEC, and looking back, it's the same type of guy. Does everything right. Great person, great team player. Waited his turn and got an opportunity, and and he did an excellent job. He was like maximizing his talent. I just don't think that there's. I think he's maximized his talent, and there's not a lot of explosiveness there. And when you game plan against Alabama, you don't really need to worry about that right now.
I think mediocre is a little bit tough. On a guy.
Me too.
Because I really think you look at the way he's improved this year, and I think he's become more explosive. I do think his feet are better in the hole. I think he reads things a lot differently, and I think when you give him the ball and feed him, he gets better. But, I mean, we're comparing him like we do with everything with Alabama to the best, like the guys who have been there before are some of the best running backs that have come through college football in the last decade. So I think there are a lot of teams that would welcome Brian Robinson in a heartbeat. And I don't know, just to be the starting quarterback there, I mean, running back, even with the guys who were ahead or behind him that got hurt, I don't think a running back can do that.
Well, let me say this, Jay. I mean, okay, mediocre as compared to what we're used to at Alabama, the Alabama standard. I mean, you run back through and you look at, Najee Harris last year, Eddie Lacy, TJ Yeldon, Mark Ingram, the football player, not the AD. Just keep going back through all of these teams that Alabama has had. And where do you find playing time for him when you're looking at the type of running backs that Alabama is used to having? Like last year, he couldn't hardly get on the field, and I mean, the best part about it is he's durable. And I don't mean, mediocre compared to Alabama standards for sure. Look, if he was on another team, he may be the best running back that they've ever had. But Alabama is running back you. I mean, go turn on the NFL, and Alabama has running backs on a bunch of different teams. Josh Jacobs couldn't even get on the field. I mean, and I mean, he would be starting over anyone on this team right now. I think the injuries have hurt. Chase McClellan, to me, was the star running back on this team. Even though he was more of a guy who would catch passes, it's hurt Alabama's offense substantially not having him. Roydell Williams got hurt, but we really never saw him. Trey Sanders, I mean, like it's not even like he's on the team. I mean, he's under 50 carries this year. And then after him, I mean, you're talking about other positions playing running back. So Brian Robinson's durability has been amazing. And I don't mean that to discount how important he is to the team. I'm just saying when when he runs up against Georgia's line, or when you get 6 yards against LSU, these are things that, we're just not used to at Alabama, and the offensive line certainly is part of that.
Just a couple of notes from Matt's perspective here. I appreciate you clarifying the mediocrity, because in comparison to other Alabama, that's true. However, didn't all these running backs have better offensive line or more consistent offensive linemen than B-Rob has right now? And they all had a safety net. Not that B-Rob runs any differently, but now that the running back room is 2, if that. All of the running backs we've talked about, the stars, had a 2 and a 3 behind them. B-Rob doesn't anymore. And it's obvious to me it's not Trey Sanders, and they didn't pull anybody up to step up there. So I think B-Rob is in a unique situation if you're going to compare them to the other running backs since Saban's been there.
Yeah, right. I guess the only other guy carries-wise that you could compare him to is Derrick Henry, and, of course, he won a Heisman Trophy. And Trent Richardson, who was always my favorite Alabama running back, I forgot about him. He's been amazing too. Yeah, look, I just – no disrespect to him, I just don't think in a normal season that we'd see a lot of him playing. And it's the fact that Alabama's had to deal with so many injuries, and they're lucky to have him. But to me, you're going to get into a spot where you're going to need some explosiveness, and I just don't know if he's going to bring that, but I hope he does. Look, I hope he does. And definitely this week. This would be the week that I wouldn't want to see him struggle, because I feel like if Alabama loses this game Saturday, and a lot of us are looking ahead to Georgia, then this season, we're not looking at this season as a success. I mean, maybe we're spoiled, like Nick Saban said, but, it'd be an 11th win, which is great. But you lose to Auburn, and especially as bad as this Auburn team has played lately and dealing with their own injuries, it would be a difficult season.
Got to get your take on Dan Mullen being fired. I don't think it's any surprise based on how they played this past weekend, how they celebrated a win over Sanford, as Matt's brought up many times. But where does he go now? I mean, does he sit out a year, get into broadcasting? You think he has the NFL? Is something thought he was going to do, I guess, a year ago? Kind of where do you see this, and where does Florida go?
Yeah, well, that's why I wore my Magnum PI costume, because, Dan wore his Darth Vader costume to a press conference. So I figured that this would be the day to kind of, highlight showing up to a press conference or an interview dressed differently. I think Florida's made a bad mistake here. Jay, I always go back to Bob Bachroth and that great decision to get rid of Gene Stallings, back when I was a student. And then, basically bring in years of losing for Alabama. Right. And it's like, years of losing. I love it. I love the picture, by the way. That was the whole reason I did this. But look, I like Dan Mullen. Obviously, things didn't go well for him over the last 11 games. Florida hires and fires coaches a lot like Alabama. This isn't the year to go out and try to find somebody. I mean, there's so many other teams that are looking right now. I guess I think Alabama fans would probably feel the same way if they lost to Missouri and some of these other losses, the South Carolina loss, and maybe the team quit on them. I don't know. I'm not there behind the scenes, but I look at Tennessee and I'm like, hey, great idea. Let's fire Philip Fulmer. And look, they've been terrible ever since, right? It took Nick Saban to turn Alabama around, who had a great program. And so not to say that Alabama's program was having the trouble that Florida has had this year, Gene's last year, but sometimes you bow to the pressure of the fan base when you need to be patient. I saw the guy get Mississippi State to number 1. He's one of the best play callers in the game. Honestly, it almost feels like maybe he's kind of had it with the college game, and we'll find out what he does in the offseason, if he ends up somewhere else, maybe in the NFL. But I just think you got to be careful what you wish for, because you get rid of these coaches, and it's not always easy to go out and find the next guy that's just going to come in there and run your team. I mean, do you think Gus Malzahn would have Auburn 500 right now? Aren't they 500?
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah.
You think it'd be better?
Yeah, of course he would. I mean, like when they were pushing him out of town last year, I was like, yeah, be kidding me. And I never even heard of Bryan Harsin. I mean, I just didn't pay a lot of attention to Boise State football, I guess, I mean, but, I think Bryan Harsin's actually done better than I thought he was going to do, even with the 3-game losing streak. Because, when you disrupt your head coach and all that, it's hard.
Yeah, I would sort of disagree with you that Bryan Harsin has done better than we thought. I mean, they're going to finish 6-6. Last week they lost after holding a 28-3 lead over Mississippi State in one of the great collapses in Auburn history. And then you go on the road and lose 21-17 to South Carolina. And you got to remember, it was South Carolina beating Gus Malzahn and Auburn last year that ultimately got Malzahn fired. So with all that, what are your thoughts on the Iron Bowl coming up here this weekend?
Well, they're still dangerous. I mean, they still beat Ole Miss, right? And LSU. And they played good against Georgia and got beat up pretty good. I don't know. Look, I hope Alabama goes in there. These are the seasons where Alabama thumps Auburn. I don't like the close games down on the plains. I'm biased, obviously. Seems like when they're close down there, it doesn't go well for Alabama. They have the Auburn Jesus stuff. It's going to be tough to do that. They lost Bo Nix. I think if Bo Nix wouldn't have broke his foot or his ankle in the Mississippi State game, maybe they figure out a way to win. I don't know, but it's not the same team without him. I just think for Alabama, they just got to continue to do what they're doing right now well, and that's throw the football, and run it enough where they can throw it. I wish that the drops would stop for Alabama, but they still, look, Bryce Young's amazing. I mean, he's having one of the best seasons that any Alabama quarterback I can remember is having. And he's having to navigate through two things that Mac Jones didn't. And that's an offensive line that doesn't always block great. And I'll throw the tight ends and the running backs in on that. And then a drop passes. And he doesn't have first round picks all over the field. I've heard people say that maybe Jamison Williams a first round pick. I don't know. I mean, maybe he is, maybe he's not, but he's not as good as the guys that were there last year. And he's had a great season. I mean, he's had a wonderful season. So he's really good. Besides that, Menchie's been good. And then, but there's drop balls between both of those guys and down the roster. And he's still he stays so poised. It's like somebody drops the ball. It's like he doesn't even know it. He just comes back in and makes another great pass. The guy's been about as good as you could ask. I mean, Jay, you played quarterback. I mean, don't you look at this kid and go, man, how does he just stay so poised?
Very impressed. Very impressed. It may be one of the most impressive things about it. And really any quarterback I've ever seen play at that position in college or especially at Alabama, he's so good. I mean, he really is. I mean, he makes things out of nut. There you go, mustache. Thank you, Magnum PI. Good
There
look
you
for
go.
you there. All right.
You show up to press conferences in Gainesville.
Yeah. Everybody about to you showed tonight.
Hey, good talking to you guys.
All right, I guess not.
There we go.
Well, he's got Monday night quarterback coming up tonight, so stay tuned for that. Bama Insider, like, share, subscribe, and there's Mick Gillespie. We'll continue live on the other side down at the bottom of the hour. We got Coach Harsin coming up as well, so everybody stay with us. We'll be back.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
Your home for Alabama Crimson Tide football. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Hey, team, we landed the contract.
Yeah. Kaya's web design studio just landed the gig of a lifetime.
It starts next week.
Their staff needs to double before the dream deal becomes a nightmare.
We need front end, back end, a project manager.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey folks, BJ Perkins, Executive Manager here at Townsend Nissan. Just wanted to get out the message that Townsend Nissan is having a huge new and pre-owned sale now with a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles in stock and ready to roll today. And most of all, your current vehicles at an all-time high. And Townsend Nissan wants it today. And the icing on the cake is finance rates are a record low. Townsend Nissan saves you time and money. So where should you shop for your next vehicle?
Townsend Nissan, your family in the car business.
Do you have an old car sitting around your house? Maybe you're even paying insurance on it. Well, if you don't need that car anymore, donate it, running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation. They will even come and pick it up for free and give you a receipt for a tax donation. Breast cancer screening could save the life of someone you love. And right now, they need your help. They want to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And that's what your old car helps to pay for. So get your phone out and call right now to donate your car to the United Breast Cancer Foundation. Remember, they will come pick it up for free and give you a tax donation receipt. Call right now at 800-245-0832. 800-245-0832. That's 800-245-0832. 800-245-0832.
'Twas the season of cheer and joy filled the town, except for Scrooge with his perma-frown. The gift of a Peloton bike touched his soul without doubt. When your workout's a joy, it's a joy to work out. This Black Friday, get the original Peloton bike at our best holiday price ever, $1,495. All access membership separate. Terms apply. See website for details.
Tuscaloosa Tire and Service, they've got the big brands you know and trust. Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Cooper, and they can finance for you as well. When you need routine maintenance and alignment, a tune-up, whatever it is, belts, hoses, just basic stuff, or when you don't know what's wrong with your car, truck, or SUV, make it Tuscaloosa Tire and Service. They're dependable, they're trustworthy. That's why they've lasted for over 36 years. Skyland Boulevard, McFarland Boulevard East in Northport on Orlean Wallace Boulevard. Check out the website, TuscaloosaTireandService.com.
Only Wendy's serves a better breakfast with a better biscuit. Our hot, buttery breakfast biscuits are loaded with a fresh cracked egg, cheese, and your choice of bacon or sausage. And right now at Wendy's, they're only $1 each.
Wendy's breakfast biscuits, just $1.
So don't take a chance with those other guys. Bet your buck on a better breakfast with Wendy's bacon or sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price of participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A cool, breezy day with a sunny sky. Tuscaloosa's high 56. A freeze likely late tonight. Clear with the low at 30. Tomorrow and Wednesday, sunny both days with a warming trend. The high tomorrow at 59, the high Wednesday at 61. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 62 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
All right, welcome back as we continue hour number 2. We got Coach Harsin coming up here in just a little bit, and we got a lot of great comments coming in as well. The script today says Nebraska is struggling for years now as well. Wonder if they will cut ties with Frost at the end of the year. A coach in Nebraska truly has the entire state for fans. And LW says script day, Nebraska. Ted Frost is back next year. He's got another shot. Today is so different. Nebraska is harder than in the past to recruit there, and that's a great point.
No, it's interesting. Dan Mullen, Chip Kelly, Scott Frost, all hired in the same year, and Frost by far has the worst record, and Frost is still the only one standing of the three. What about Chip Kelly going to Oregon possibly if Mario Cristobal takes the Florida job, takes the Miami of Florida job? Be interesting to see.
I thought Mick brought up a great point about Mullen. I don't think it was a good move by Florida. Yes,
I don't either.
I don't know.
Okay, good. I
think you need more patience, especially these. I think people just the standards that they look at, especially as they look at Alabama, and you can't do that. You got to build off what you've got. You got to look at recruiting, and it's going to take time. What you're left with, and different philosophies and all that. Look what Mullen did at Mississippi State. Look what he did at Florida before that, is winning a championship with Urban Meyer. You just got to take all that in. Now, look, there may be things off the field we don't know about. There may be things that are happening that Strickland and the administration know about. A lot of people say that Steve Spurrier may have had more to do with this than we really know of, as far as maybe being in the ear of Strickland and talking about other people.
Kind of bothers me too. If he does have something to do with that, go play golf, Steve. I mean, why are you still meddling around in Florida's business when you really just left South Carolina?
He's got an office there in Florida.
I'm sure in some form or fashion they're still paying him, right?
Yes, I bet. Yep.
With an office,
as like a consultant,
and a free member. He has a free membership to Augusta, doesn't he?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Hey,
I know he can play there, but I don't know about membership.
I know both of you guys have been to Gainesville.
Yeah.
If you had a couple words to describe Gainesville, what would it be?
Hot.
Flat.
Armpit.
Whoa. I have another one, but it's not suitable for air.
I'm not a fan of Gainesville.
Me either.
It is a hot, muggy place.
It's not. It would be my 14th campus if I were to rank them. But wouldn't it be all?
Trent Richardson in the house, who has played many times in the swamp.
I still can't believe they're just now building a football facility in Florida.
I guess. Did Spurrier freshen them up? And then it's been, idle since?
Yeah.
That's hard to believe.
All right, let's get to a break. We'll come back, and Harsin's supposed to be up for his press conference coming up at 1:30. We'll hear from the head coach of the Auburn Tigers. Iron Bowl week, Thanksgiving week as well. We'll be back.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for AVX, Audio Video Excellence. They are the premier provider for custom audio-visual design and installation in the Southeast. AVX seeks excellence in everything it does, including a superior employee experience. AVX offers employees an industry-leading salary, insurance benefits, and 401k options. AVX technicians also receive the highest level of certification and continue training, making it one of the most awarded and decorated companies in the industry. Career opportunities are available now for technicians in Birmingham and Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Join the AVX team by contacting them at avxinc.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. If you're average and you're looking for a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average person with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We all exercise differently. We run differently. We walk differently. And our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Birmingham store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot's size and shape along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Because New Balance isn't your average shoe, and you're not average either. Experience the difference an unaverage custom fit makes today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham. Your feet will thank you.
Hi, Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Hi, it's Jay Barker for Siebel's in downtown Homewood, and now's the time to get your special place ready. Come in and let Siebel's design your porch with Kingsley Bait outdoor furniture and one of their custom swinging beds. For a great room, you're going to need their Carson swivel recliner. Siebel's is the #1 Carson recliner dealer in the country, and Sarah and I, we've got one, and we absolutely love it. Be sure also to check out their famous custom-made beds and bunk beds. built by Siebel's and made up with some of their best linens in town. Their staff can truly put your bed together like no other store. You can also follow Siebel's and shop on Instagram and Facebook. And be sure to call or go by their special store in downtown Homewood. The number is 800-448-1962. That's 800-448-1962. And just for listening, go to SiebelsCottage.com and order anything you want and type in J Barker for a special discount code. That's J Barker for a special discount code available only to our listeners for a limited time on the J Barker Show. Siebel's in downtown Homewood or online at SiebelsCottage.com.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.co.
All right, welcome back in. As we continue, we're going to go right down to Bryan Harsin in Auburn, and he's up for his weekly press conference, getting ready for the Iron Bowl. Here's Coach Harsin.
Came back on Sunday. We had a chance to assess what happened in the South Carolina game and learn from that, and then moving forward this week. And that's really part of the process that we have every single week is win or lose. What'd you learn? And taking that information and applying it to what we have to do moving forward and getting ourselves improved as the season continues. And this week is no different. We have this opportunity to be back at home. It's going to be an opportunity for our seniors and guys that will play their last game here at Jordan-Hare, and then playing against a really good football team. This game goes back all the way to 1893. And so, obviously there's a lot of excitement about that. And, as we look at Alabama, they're obviously a very good football team, extremely well coached. Coach Saban does a tremendous job with that program, with that team, and has done that consistently year in, year out. Offensively, the first in the league. And Bryce Young, I got a chance to watch him play in high school, and he was a very good player then, has improved even more. You can see just the growth, maturity he's made through this season, his toughness, the way he's playing, and how he's got that offense moving and running and doing a lot of different things that are very difficult for the defenses. So I've been very impressed with him. And it's not just him. There's too many names to actually name. But the two wide receivers, Mechie and Williams, both guys are having tremendous years, very explosive players. And so that'll be a challenge for our secondary. Physical also in the run game. Those guys play extremely hard. Brian Robinson, number 4, the leading rusher, physical runner, plays extremely hard and does that consistently throughout the games. He's got 14 touchdowns this year because of that. Evan Neal, their tackle and really their offensive line, he's one of the guys, Outland Trophy and Lombardi Award candidate right now. And this guy is extremely physical and plays extremely hard. Obviously very talented, but the thing that stands out is the way these guys play and the consistency that they play with. And it's hard to do that week in and week out. Defensively, very strong up front. Front 7 was extremely good. Back end moves really well, puts themselves in positions where they can make plays on the ball. They can make plays if the backs or receivers are able to get to them. And they tackle extremely well. They got 6 returning starters on that side of the ball. Will Anderson, one of their linebackers. Henry To'o, the transfer from Tennessee, is playing extremely well. He's got 84 tackles. And Jordan Battle, DB, and again, really everybody on that side of the ball has done a tremendous job. So challenge for us is, we have to play well offense and defensively. We've got to eliminate the things that we can control as far as mistakes, play our game and go out there and make sure that we're taking care of the things that we need to within our schemes. Special teams wise, again, very good. They continue to show up on special teams as being fast, physical, and, a team that you got to play with great technique and great effort against. So overall, just very impressed with watching now more in detail their performances against each team they played. And, certainly excited about the opportunity to go out there and get ourselves ready for this week to play our best football of the year, which is always the goal every single game, and to stay focused on the things that we need to do for this team to be more successful. And, I think our guys, as we come out to practice on Tuesday, taking what we've learned from the season so far, we need to apply that. And that will show up. We'll put in, a week's worth of work where, we feel accomplished after each and every day. And hopefully the next day we're out there to prove ourselves again before we ever step on the field to play. So that's the mentality that we have each and every day. That's really what the 1-0 is having that identity as an individual and then certainly as a team. It is Thanksgiving week, so our schedule will be a little bit different. So guys will have time to go celebrate and be with family and give thanks on Thursday. Won't affect much of what we're doing from a preparation standpoint. And then ready to play on Saturday and go out there and finish the season, playing our best in the season is the goal. So with that, questions.
First question is Michael Gittins.
Coach, this is your first Iron Bowl. What's the primary message to the team this week in practice going into your first Iron Bowl? And is there a chance that we see any redshirt freshmen that can't burn eligibility but may be able to help you this week?
I don't have an answer for you on the redshirt freshmen yet as far as that goes. But you're right as far as having guys available to play that haven't been in the 4 games. This was their 5th game. So there is opportunity for that, but I don't have an answer for you there. We'll see how the week goes. As far as the Iron Bowl goes, I told the players I'm excited to coach in this game. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to be at Auburn. Go back before I was ever part of this program. The Iron Bowl has been a game that everybody's watched. Everybody knows Auburn, Alabama playing. If you have a chance and you can get on and watch the game, if you're coaching, if it's time that, for us at Boise, we had the latest game, so you could always get a chance to watch these games. And, that everybody knows who's playing in it. And, something that you sit there and you think how cool that is, to have a chance for those guys to go out there and play in a rivalry game like this. And now to be here, I told our players, I'm excited to be here as a coach in the game. And, that's one of the things about being at Auburn. That chance, as far as the message is that we have to do better than we did the week before, and that's been the message, each and every week. And it's a matter of, we can talk about it. We got to go out there and do it. And everybody that steps on that field and everybody that coaches in that game has a responsibility to this team to make sure that we're doing everything we can to the best of our ability to have ourselves ready to play. And then when we get out there and play, that we do those same things through an entire football game, through 4 quarters. And for us, it still comes back to things that we can control, that we want to make sure we're a lot more effective with in the games. And we put ourselves in better positions as we go out there and prepare. So that goes back to our preparation. It goes back to, in my opinion, and I think it's important for our staff and players that we have that attitude that we're trying to prove ourselves every single day. And that should be the mentality of this football team. Every time you step into a meeting, every time you step on the field to practice, do a drill, compete in a one-on-one situation, work your schemes in team periods. You're trying to prove yourself. And to me, that's how you get where you want to be, and which is having yourself prepared, ready, and feeling the most confident you can when you go step on the football field to play. And that just comes back to the way that you approach everything. And that continues to be the message. We have to prove ourselves, and this week is no different. What is different about this week is, our seniors, obviously the game, there's a difference to that, because it is a rivalry game, and you're playing against a really good football team. But for us, we're always trying to play our best football each and every week. And how we do that is we get ourselves prepared to go out there and play like that, through a great week of work, and then having that attitude and mentality of proving yourself every day. So when it's time to do that on game day, that's just what you do each and every day. So that's the message. That's the focus, for everybody in our program, and, something that we need to get done each and every day so that we're all ready to play on Saturday.
We get our daily dose of Ambien there. So for Lars Anderson, Lars, we talked about, Coach Saban is so story, he tells the stories and all that.
There you go.
Cricket, there you go. I think over time, though, right? I mean, Harsin would get better and better. Press conferences.
Time didn't help.
My dad was a lawyer, and he could say a lot without saying anything. And I just feel like I was back in my childhood. Oh, my God.
Deep dive for Lars.
That's crazy.
Trent, you want me to wake you up here?
Man.
Here, have some coffee.
This seat never got so comfortable.
All right, so we had a guest on earlier that said Brian Robinson was mediocre. I'm not going to name his name. He's back on later tonight on BamaInsider.com. Which we love Mick. Yeah, Mick Gillespie. We love Mick. But your take on the running back situation right now in Alabama, and just kind of what the team this past weekend against Arkansas, 42-35. Unbelievable. Bryce Young, 59 yards. I think that was I saw 560 on another one, but 559, I think is the actual in the books for him. And again, 5 touchdowns this past weekend.
Me a comment about, the Brian Robinson, that he's mediocre. I just can't see that. And I'm saying that because he's gained my respect. I didn't think that he was going to be as talented that he was this year. But if you look at Brian Robinson, the way he runs, for Alabama running back, he runs like Glenn Coffey. And he plays just like Glenn Coffey. But you look at him, if you look at him in the league right now, he plays like Latavion Bell. And
take it back. Mick said, corrected himself, mediocre compared to you guys, compared to you, Derrick Henry, Najee Harris.
And he did. He also said that you're his all-time favorite running back.
I mean, but when you look at it, the stuff that, and not to cut you off, Lars, the stuff that me and Mark did and Eddie, really, Derrick don't fit in our category either. I would take Josh Jacobs over Derrick. I mean, because that's the style that we play. I mean, Derrick, you had to more like get him. Derrick needed, I don't want to say he needed 45 carries.
But he got better with it. Yeah.
But he got better with the 45.
Brian's like that.
Yeah, and Brian's like that too. And so when it came with me and Mark knew we wasn't going to get, 20 carries or 25, because what we was doing at the time and how we was running and the style of play that we had, it didn't even matter if we had 15 or 12 carries. We was going to get all we could. And it didn't take us as long to kind of get stronger through the game. And I mean, our offensive line was pretty strong too. But for real, Derrick was he's a great running back. He's a great running back now. He was a great running back at Alabama. But that class of, just get to me right now, I'm gonna make something happen. I don't put Derrick in that class with me, Mark, and Eddie or Josh Jacobs. I had to put Jacobs in that category.
Were you surprised that Trey Sanders only got 1 carry? Or is this now B-Rob's sort of team, so to speak, and they're just going to feed him the ball, 25, 35 times a game?
I think they should have been doing that. They should have been feeding the ball at least 20 times a game. Getting the ball 5 times a game is disrespectful for real. to the works that he's done this year with coming out the backfield and being able to get into space, but running the ball and getting stronger as the game go on. There's no way in the world a running back can just get the ball 3 times a game and expect him to have over 100 yards. It's not possible. I mean, unless you're breaking along 99-yard runs like Derrick Henry, but other than that, it's really not possible. If you expect the guy to be getting into his groove for your offensive line too. I mean, if you're building your offensive line off just a pass game, some of these guys going to the NFL now is having a hard time with scouts and NFL scouts because they don't know how to get out of 3-point stands, and it's really damaging the game. And I'm not saying let's not pass ball. I'm sitting there saying that if you got an offensive line built like Alabama, you should be able to do both.
Trent, is there a mindset for a running back like you got 10, 12 touches as opposed to a guy like Derek or, in this case, B-Rob that knows they're going to probably get 20? Do you have a tendency to think I need to break this one maybe more than the guy that's going to keep eating throughout the game?
Well, it was different for me, right? Because like my first 2 years, I knew I wasn't going to be a starter, and I knew we had a Heisman Trophy winner, and we knew Mark, what he did with Glenn Coffey, and so for me, I would be on kickoff return, and I would take every ball out the end zone because I knew I wasn't going to get enough carries. And Mark would always tell me, he said, man, Trent, you always break the big runs and, score your long touchdowns. If you look at all my runs from my sophomore year on up, it wasn't the 5-yard touchdowns or 10-yard touchdowns. It was the 40 to 50s and the 30-yard touchdowns. I know once we got in the red zone, Mark was going to get in the game. And it wasn't the fact that, it wasn't a hate from me, but it was like, well, man, if somebody's going to get beside me or behind me, I got to go because I know Mark's going to get the touchdown. And that's just respect out of him because I know, he deserved it too at the same time. And it'd be a lot of times Mark would come to the sideline and be like, man, thank you. And when Eddie, and they did that to me when Eddie was there my last year. And I would tell Eddie, thank you. I mean, but it's just, it's the respect that, and coach get guys into the league like that and get guys in the first round. I mean, because them guys, when Mark got hurt and when he came back, coach had a conversation with just me and Mark. And coach was like, well, we're going to let Mark come back and start, we can't not let him start. I was like, coach, we family. I knew that's going to happen. I knew, the first 2 games playing against Penn State and San Jose State, Mark was going to be out. He had the knee surgery and he got back for Duke. He was going to be the guy. I mean, so, man, for me, the mindset, I always said I need to break along. Like, I don't know guys like Derek, that knows they're going to get the ball 25 or 30 times a game or 45 times a game. So I'm thinking he went 2 or 3 games and he had 45-yard carries. 45 carries a game. But for me, my mindset was always to break the long run.
191 of attempts, 945 yards. He leads the SEC in touchdowns in the running back position with 14, averaging 4.9 yards per carry. So
mediocre.
That's crazy. I can't call him mediocre, though.
Mick, again, clarifying that he came back and I said, you mean mediocre based on what's been there? Yes, that's what he meant. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's well, we'll get more into it. We got to get to break. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 2 on this Monday edition. Stay with us live on Bama Insider as well. We'll get some of your comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share. And also Bama Insider Facebook. Watching us live there as well. Like, subscribe, share as well. And we'll be back. Stay with us.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
Your home for Alabama Crimson Tide football. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Don't miss a play at the Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Your front row seat to all the action. Place bets on all professional and most college sports at the counter, kiosk, or on your phone. Then catch the game on one of our 20 big screens from the comfort of the newly remodeled Timeout Lounge. Plus, the PRR Sports app gives you access to live, in-play sports betting. Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Be more than a fan. Be a player. Must be 21.
Ask big. Have you seen our artisan-created diamonds? If you've been in a room with one, you can't miss it.
Tom Osmond from Fincher & Osmond.
It's a diamond like I've never seen.
And he's seen a lot of diamonds.
Ask big.
At Fincher and Osmond, you can put artisan created diamonds side by side with mined diamonds. When you see it,
More importantly, when she sees it,
FincherandOsmond.com.
McFarland Boulevard between Edgar's and Local Roots.
You know when you order a new video game, or a golf club, or a blender, and then it arrives at your door, you get a little thrill. Imagine how much more thrilling it is when you order a new car. With Nissan at home, you can shop for the perfect ride and order it without ever having to go anywhere. Sure beats a golf club or a blender. Buy a new car entirely online with Nissan at home. Delivered direct from dealer to driveway. Thrill starts here. Services may vary at participating dealers, subject to applicable law. See dealer for details.
Dell's Black Friday event has arrived, and it's the perfect time to step up your creativity. With incredible savings up to $400 off PCs, it's Dell's biggest sale of the year. Get more into what you're into with the latest XPS and Alienware systems featuring Intel Core processors. Save on top monitors, docks, and accessories, all with free shipping, plus low monthly payments from Dell Preferred Account. Call 800-BY-DELL for Black Friday deals. That's 800-BY-DELL.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get access. Well, not anymore, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month and no contract. Plus, get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart and Walmart.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up, there's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell and engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
It's Black Friday now at JCPenney. Hurry and shop thousands of the merriest Black Friday deals while they last. Make spirits bright with up to 75% off fine jewelry. Get innovative with sharper image gifts now up to 50% off. Plus, take home kitchen appliances for $7.99 each after $10 mail-in rebate. Score these deals and more all week long before they're gone. Happy Black Friday, JCPenney. Offers valid on select items 11/22 through 11/28. Conditions and exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A cool, breezy day with a sunny sky. Tuscaloosa's high 56. A freeze likely late tonight. Clear with a low at 30. Tomorrow and Wednesday, sunny both days with a warming trend. The high tomorrow at 59. The high Wednesday at 61. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 62 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
All right, welcome back in, and I want to remind you we are presented by Top Golf of Birmingham. You can see Mark Renier and all the great folks there at Top Golf, and driven by Sunny King Ford on the sunny side of the street, and Tony Russell and all the great folks there at Sunny King Ford. Lars Anderson, Matt Coulter, I'm Jay Barker. We also got Trent Richardson in studio with us, and yesterday 2 championships.
Yeah,
the boys,
man.
yeah, young one and TJ.
Yeah, man. And, you know, it's crazy because the week before they played in the semifinals for the playoff, my youngest son, and they was down 7-0 the whole game. And my boy broke it for 80 yards last play of the game. And then they got it called, well, they got the 2-point conversion called back. Is he ran the 2-point conversion in because they was in a celebrate. Well, it's 9U, which is TJ team. Well, 8U was which is TJ team. It was in the end zone celebrating with them. So the ref threw a flag.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because them boys, they was in the end zone warming up and, you know, behind the end zone. And when he scored last play, they got these kids, you know, they going to, you know, pat him on the head and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so, man, they almost took it from him. Like, they really did. And so, TJ team just went out there and they just demolished them, man. But this week was like, you know, all good football. Because I think it was 6-6 the whole game for my youngest son team. And, you know, it was a good game. Then they got a guy named Jamar. He's gonna be a good one. Yeah. He's gonna be a real good one. But TJ, he threw it real good yesterday. He hit real good yesterday. We had 2 running backs score 2 touchdowns yesterday. They won 12-0. It should have been better than that, but we got some stuff to clean up before we go to Miami.
All right, your favorite Iron Bowl memory. Just love to kind of hear. We had about a minute and a half, but your favorite Iron Bowl you played in, or a play or a game, and give us your thoughts on that.
Oh man, it had to be my first one because Mark went down, and when he got out the game, they went to me like 4 plays in a row. Me and Julio was going back and forth, and that last drive that we had, I caught a screen and broke down the sideline. The next play, I think Roy Upchurch caught the last play and went into the end zone and scored the game winner. So
your junior year against Auburn in the Iron Bowl, it was at Jordan Hare, right? I remember covering it, and you had a huge game.
Yeah, I had like.
That's not your favorite.
yards.
That's not your. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. And that's crazy.
How many did you go over 200?
Yeah, I think that might have been the only game at Alabama I went over 200 yards. Because, like I said, and I didn't get to play the rest of the fourth quarter, but my last year I only played 2 full games. That was both for LSU games.
Is Jordan Hare one of the loudest stadiums?
Yeah, they're LSU in Florida.
Yeah,
pretty loud.
All right, good stuff.
Thanks, Trent.
Thank you, my man, and thanks to Josh Smith, our producer down at Tide 100.9 FM. Thank you for watching and listening throughout the network and throughout the state of Alabama, down the Gulf Coast, and also on BamaInsider YouTube channel. Each and every day, we're live noon to 2. Like, subscribe, and share. Also live on Facebook for BamaInsider. From Matt Coulter, Lars Anderson, Trent Richardson, I'm Jay Barker. Thanks for watching and listening to the Jay Barker Show. We'll be with you tomorrow, Tuesday edition. Come back with us.
Following this summer's Tokyo Olympic Games, the eyes of the world will turn to Birmingham, Alabama, and the World Games 2022. Next July, the world will come together for the South's largest international sporting event since the 96 Centennial Olympic Games. 3,600 athletes will compete for gold in 34 sports, including lacrosse, softball, gymnastics, flag football, and more. Tickets are on sale now. Buy yours at twg2022.com.
When you go to turn on the lights, you expect them to work. Our team at Alabama Power does too. But sometimes, extreme weather and events test our system. Knowing we're out there making repairs helps, but answers are what you deserve. So, we're rolling out new tools to keep you informed, especially during storms. Visit Alabama Power's new outage map to see outages in your area and get updates on repair times. And sign up to get personalized outage alerts on your phone or computer for free. Learn more at alabamapower.com/alerts.
I'm excited to tell you about our newest sponsor here on the Jay Barker Radio Network. They pioneered the chicken finger box and the chicken finger restaurant. That's Guthrie's. Guthrie's recipes and process are often imitated, but never duplicated. Look, their sauce is probably the most copied sauce of all sauces all time. And I've known this family since my days down in Tuscaloosa, and they came over, and man, I tell you, it's nostalgic even today to see my kids going to that same Guthrie's. And great family, do so much for the community, but more importantly, provide the best when it comes to chicken fingers. Get out to Guthrie's today. I want to tell you about my good friends at Southern Assurance Group. Hi, it's Jay Barker, and look, Ken Needham has done a terrific job. Local company, 205-980-1505 is their number. That's 980-1505. Again, local, you can speak with the same team every time you give them a call. Full line of products from auto, home, boat, life. You'll trust them. They have a great deal as far as the relationships they build with their customers.